I'm happy today to welcome you in this session, what is dedicated for the role of land professionals in the Arab states, advancing trust and effective land governance. It is a session organized by FIG and other organizers. So in this session, we will have many presentations, but that aim to explain what is the importance of land professionals in the Arab region and how they can participate in enhancing issues related to land administration and land governance. So the session emphasizes the importance of forestry trust and accountability among these groups as the foundation of effective land administration. So we are happy to welcome in Mrs. Dr. Diana Dumashi. She is the president of International Federation of Surveyors. She will speak about the importance of FIG in the Arab region and how FIG works to strengthen the capacities and also to make, to facilitate the land administration, land governance through professional implication. And also, we welcome Professor Jamal Qulaydan from Libya. He is a professor of geomatics and land survey in Trablus University, and he will speak about the importance of organizations, professional organizations in the region, and how they can participate on reinforcing capacity and capacity building. So professionals, they can have their whole role in developing land administration approaches and also techniques. We have also Dr. Rafiq Khouri. He is a special economic and social specialist in land administration. He represents Arab Union of Surveyors, and he will give us an overview of what must be done to reinforce the role and the position of the professionals in the domain of land administration and land governance. So after presentations, we will have a discussion and exchange knowledge and expertise between our speakers and audience. So feel free after to ask to participate in the discussion. So I will start with Professor Dr. Diane Dumashi. She will present us FIG. The floor is yours, Doctor. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think I better use these two. So, as you've heard, my name is Diane Dumashi. I'm the president of the International Federation of Surveyors, and we're known as the acronym FIG. So it's really quite interesting to bring people together to talk about the role of land professionals. And we were handed this as our session title, Advancing Trust and Effective Land Governance. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is that it's all about people. So I'm just going to move over so I can see the slides. So it's all about people. And people meaning in the context of the SDGs, context of the 2030 agenda, of which, thank you, you're all very familiar with. The importance of putting this up right now is that holistic framework that it provides in order to be transformative, if you like, in terms of humanity, how people live, how people work in their places, how we protect the planet. So I would say that the twin objectives put into the title of this session is that we have to maintain trust of society, because that will enable us, if you like, to actually be effective, to lead in land governance. And so what would I say our role is? I would say is serving people and planet. That is our role. And the proposition I wanted to put to this session for discussion is that in order for us to be at the very best impact that we can be, we need to leverage ourselves in a network, in our professional networks, because that's where we find strength. Because trust, it's actually earned. It's not given. You have to earn it. And land governance, to prove we're good, prove we're efficient, is got to be evidence-based. So we have to be purposeful in how we implement, if you like, the global to local. And so I'm going to go through these 4 areas in order to give you some messaging. I'm going to talk a little bit about FIG as a network and how we then leverage our knowledge. And then thirdly, I'm going to get back down to the regions because they're really important in terms of impact. And then I'm going to talk about, finally, how we build that trust and how we shape that future. So FIG, who are we? Well, we're a global federation of members, mostly national associations. And I'm pleased to say here in the MENA region, we've got Morocco as a member association, Lebanon, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. We have some academic universities, and we also have corporate members. So this federation is at least 110. I'm sorry, we have to put 110 plus because membership does differ from year to year, but it's about 110 to 120. And the contribution of this network is all about the leverage of professional contributions and knowledge. It's about outreach, it's about institutional development, and it's about global development. I'm hoping in the next 10 minutes, maybe 12, Mr. Chair, I'm going to just take you through what that really means. So, OK, land governance, we know what that is, don't we? It's about the policies and the processes. This diagram shows you the sheer scope of what land governance requires in terms of activities, in terms of your activities. And it's about land use, land value, it's about land development, it's that whole range. And so what I would say here is that all of these activities are actually reflected in globalization, it's reflected in the Agenda 2030, the SDGs, and increasingly technology. How, as a network, how do we find a home in all of that land management activity? We have 10, what we call commissions, call them working groups. They are focus-led in their professional disciplines. And again, they could be spatial information management, geodesy, cadastre. There's a whole list there. So that means all the land professionals find a home in this network. But, you know, we're not just about these commissions who are focusing on the specifics in order to collaborate and create activity. Our member engagement is also led by the networks. It's led by permanent institutions. And again, I will come back to those. So look, the future we want to shape. This is a UN Habitat slogan. People, partnership, peace, planet, prosperity. That's underpinning the 2030 agenda. So I would ask us, what does a purposeful and relevant profession really look like? How do we operate? Well, FIG says we're going to have a vision in terms of what we will be doing over the next few years. And that is, we are going to serve society, we are going to benefit people, and we're going to benefit the planet as well. In all of those commissions that I showed you earlier. But it's all very well having this grand vision. You've actually got to do something. And so our theme, if you like, is very action-orientated. It's tackling those global challenges. So the trends that we find and we talk about quite a lot. All right, let's get down to some evidence. And the first evidence is that leveraging that I talked about, leveraging the collective knowledge from all of the professionals in our network. And we're going to leverage, and we do leverage, by being connected, we communicate, we collaborate, we create, and we contribute. And that's played out like this. In terms of the connections, we meet every year as an international organisation, and we have professional networking to do all of those things. Earlier I said about the professional development, the institutional development, the global development, the stuff that happens in all those commissions. We're engaging, we're talking. We can have up to 2,000 land professionals from around the world in these conferences. And the bigger picture is where we're going to be in April this year. We communicate. So that's what networks do. We've got to find ways to communicate. Here I'm showing you what we do with our young surveyors. I was in the Young Forum earlier this morning, and FIG has made a place for the younger generation so that we can recognise their skills and bring them into succession so that they take on those leadership roles. We need also, remember, in all professions, to attract the younger generation. They've got to feel welcome. And they're the ones that forge new partnerships that perhaps we don't know of. Here I've exampled YILA, which is the youth initiative in land. And we're also working at that global development level to create. And we create best practice that then gets rolled out into implementation down to the ground level for our land professionals. And we do that in other networks, such as the Global Land Tool Network, known as GLTN. And there we've innovated in things like the STDM, Fit for Purpose. The acronyms, by the way, are in full at the bottom of this slide. But we have member associations that are progressive because they take these on board. And I've just given a few examples. Nepal has done it recently with Fit for Purpose, and we were in Nepal end of last year. Nigeria has done a project, and Netherlands is quite instrumental in what they do. There are others. These are just 3 that I'm highlighting here. So we're creating. We've got to contribute. And the GLTN and the World Bank, for example, has picked up one of the key initiatives, which was the valuation of unregistered lands. We're also active in United Nations GGIM. And I won't read out this slide. You can perhaps read it later. But also IHO, which is the International Hydrographic Office, and where we are actually involved at a task force level, but also at a commission level. So it's not just about contributing with the global UN family. We're also contributing with our sister organisations. And that might be the engineers, the cartographers. And we also recognise, and I'm leaving the region purposely to last, the continental regional blocs, such as African Union, such as the European Union, such as ASEAN Flag, which is Asia, and the Commonwealth Francophone. So, as I said, I wanted to get to regional connections because it's really important. This is where we make a lot of impact in terms of connection. And so FIG has set up what we call regional capacity development networks, the acronym RCDN. We have one in Africa, the continent Africa. We have one in the Asia-Pacific region. We have just set up one in the Americas, which is Northern and Southern Americas. And they are picking up the issues of the region. Because regions, yes, they're diverse within the region, but there are enough similarities that enable effective, if you like, dialogue. Because there's similarities you can talk about in order to get best practices, in order to flow through down to the local level, and nuance what is required. And it's the member associations at local level that push out all of this knowledge creation that we're talking about. And therefore, the individual surveyor is pushing out this information. So, you know, land, it really is all about people to land relationships. That word relationships. And as professionals, that's what we're dealing with. And I would say that the regional issues that I've said are being nuanced at the local level, but here, and I'm hearing this, I've heard this for the last 2 days, the issues in the Arab region of the rapid population growth and urbanisation, some environmental degradation. And we know that climate change has a disproportionate impact on the vulnerable areas. So we do need to think from the tenure security angle how to incorporate that sustainable land management regime that I showed you earlier, which feeds back up into land governance. And now land governance has got to be climate responsive. So outreach to the MENA region. You know, as I said, and I hope you're getting the flavour, FIG is really driven by the people, the members within it, and their engagement. And it's so, you know, I'm really pleased we're in Morocco now because ONGIT is a member association of FIG and held one of those conferences in 2011. That's when we were all here in Marrakesh. Not here, but not Rabat, Marrakesh. GLTN, another big network I mentioned earlier, and I'm pleased Rafiq and I are sharing this stage because we co-chair the professional cluster in that network in order to do and improve land governance, tenure security, to gain insights. But what I would like to just flag, we are mindful of the gap. We're not working sufficiently with the Arab land professionals. We could do much more. I would love to see many more of these countries represented in FIG as member associations. So I'm now coming to my final couple of slides and the messaging about building that trust, because what we do is really meaningful, it's really important, and if we want to shape the future, we have to have that trust, because it is all about people. And if we want to be relevant to those people, we have to tell them, we have to demonstrate, we have to be evidence-based that, you know, we are there for their benefit. We can bridge the gap between the high-level governance, land governance, policy making, right down to what it means to you, me, and everyone else on the ground. And that we are therefore trusted. Very, very important, because we're not going to get anywhere without trust. And so I would say if we want to lead and contribute to sustainable development, I would like to think in the Arab regional area, be resilient by being inspiring and improve on all the things I've been talking about, because together in a region, and then in the global area too, global context, we are stronger for sure. And I think we can really make a difference, both to the politicians and the policy level, and to the communities who live and work on this planet. So, shaping the future. It's our professional imperative that we carry on our deliberations that we're starting now, and we keep on talking about them. We have to think widely, we have to think deeply. We have to improve on what we do. We have to be more techno-smart in what we do. We've got to keep up with the times and be fit for that purpose, because it's critical that we do inspire and be innovative. So above all, I would say we need to bridge from that policy to practice to people. And that will come through trust, and it comes through understanding global to local and leveraging what we do in partnerships and at the regional level. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Diana, for respecting time and also for your presentation. So, Dr. Diana gives us an important overview of what FIG is doing now over the world, and she highlights that the cooperation in Arab region needs more networking and also needs to be reinforced, and more engagement has to be done. So I will give the floor to Dr. Jamal from Libya. He was also president of Surveying Authority in Libya, and he works for the Curtin. He will talk about the importance of regional organizations in reinforcing capacity building of land professionals. Dr. Jamal, you have some 10 minutes to make your presentation. Dr. Jamal will present in Arabic, so I invite you to use the traduction gadgets. Thank you.
Good morning. Okay. I'm glad that the presentation, Diana, the president of FIG, and I'm glad we explain what I wanna say in front of you. The presentation is about the center was established in 1998. It's about 35 years, and is specialized in techniques of geographical and mechanical geography, and it talks about Libya, Tunis, Morocco, Algeria, Mauritania, Egypt, and Sudan. And the purpose of this center is precise, aiding the members in this field, and exchanging knowledge and information, as well as opening projects. The center take and steps to work and alleviating performance and on the regional level and the regional level on North Africa and Middle East, Kamal mentioned later. One of the things the center is about is training with cooperation with our partners, international organizations, or United Nations, and regional organizations and institutions of members. What are the activities that the center does? It focuses on alleviating knowledge, and that goes updated with in the field and geospatial geography. And we have many workshops and training workshops and educating and contributing to seminars and conferences in the field. Geospatial geography, making youth camps, establishing youth camps, and in member states. Tries to training projects that is common between the member states, 2 states or 1 state or 2 states, and it will help in gaining knowledge. On the topic land administration, there is a cooperation between UN Habitat concerning the work of many training, and this between 2021, there is a workshop. The workshop was about experts, a meeting between experts on lands and the training of many countries of Africa and countries of Middle East. And I witnessed that the goal is to say especially in registry and data on the field of land. There is a span. There is a training in Egypt on the beginning in February 2022, and it's important. And there were a lot of trainees from practical point. Let's see the number. The purpose of it to utilize the tools, and a mechanism. Give it an image of about the brochures. It's also a training. Train the trainees on utilizing these tools in the field of UAGs and ODK and data collecting and utilizing photos, satellite, and analyze it and extracting data.
There was many countries from Yemen, Sudan, Libya, Morocco, Tunisia, Jordan, and Morocco. 15 trainees that were present in their platform. There was another training session, like it was like the second edition. Its objective was capacity building with better and cost-effective tools. There was another also session. It was in December 2022, and it specializes about the lands in Libya. It's a problematic. It's a bit problematic there in terms of registration and administrative procedures. This workshop specialized and focused on the Libyan matter. In another training session was also in December with different in 2023 and used the different tools, relied on different tools like drones. Also to give the idea that the center help the member state to capacity buildings and in terms of land management, and also the center, the regional center, or our center is regional. And yesterday we talked about the role of international organizations, and I know that a lot of participants in this forum they were targeted in other sessions and editions. But there is a big role that the local organization is playing on locally, plus the NGOs and international organizations like UN Habitat and FIG and In addition to the other regional commissions, we are very happy to exist and to participate. And I think our center has its annual planning for 2025 and a set of programs. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Dr. Jamal, for your intervention and for respecting the time. Dr. Jamal talked about the roles done by the observatory or the regional center in North Africa in terms of capacity buildings, workshops, and expert meetings. And also he showed how many workshops were organized, gathering many experts and stakeholders in terms of land management and adopting new approaches in terms of land management and the use of lands. And here we go, and we see the role of these institutions and centers in the Arab region in terms of spreading not only awareness but also techniques and new approaches. Thank you, Mr. Jamal. We move now to the next speaker, Dr. Rafiq Khouri, who is going to speak about the importance of promoting communication and cooperation between professionals in the Arab world. You have the floor. Representative of Arab Union of Surveyors. Thank you very much. Greetings to the participants. Thank you for being here and participating with us. So, first of all, before talking about recommendations, I would like to show you some charts from an economic organization dealing with real estate. Which means dealing with buildings and or real estate manifestation. This chart or this graphic shows where the wealth exists according to international sectors. First of all, the international wealth is in land, about $300 trillion. And that is even more in the stakeholders with 200 trillions. And the rest of sector is 1 trillion. So that's how we can see the importance of real estate sector and the huge investment that taken the huge portion of investment and wealth invested internationally in this sector. Also, it shows as well that practically what we call in English as ownership or acquisition is very important, that the investment in land is envisaged to be rewarding and with other objectives to preserve the land resources and promote it, and also give new investment possibilities and interest, and also to create added value for the communities. And our sister Diane told about the acquisition, the land acquisition from the UN perspective, and also from the interest of the local vulnerable communities, and I think there should be a complementarity between the two, the wealthy investors in land and also the interest of these communities. There should be a clear system and a sustainable system of land acquisition that respects the right of everybody, of all the parties of the human societies, including in the Arab world. So that was just an introduction. I hope it was interesting. I will continue in English because I have my presentation in Arabic.
About $400 trillion by the end of 22. So real estate is worth more than global equity and bond markets combined, and is almost 4 times the size of the global GDP. هذا موضوع يعني جدا مهم، وهذا اللي أنا شخصيا يعني أكدت عليه. So just over 3/4 of the value in real estate is tied up to in residential property worth about $300 trillion at the end of 22. Commercial property accounts for 13% إلى آخره. فيعني هذه يعني كمقدمة عن الأهمية الاقتصادية للموضوع العقاري. السكن يعني هو حق أيضا، مش بس يعني سلعة، وبالتالي يعني من هون لابد يعني من التعامل مع الموضوع كسلعة وكخدمة للمجتمع البشري، وهذا شيء في منتهى الأهمية بالنسبة لجميع
So also this turns us to talk about housing as a right and not just as a commodity. The UN described the decent housing that's sought by the right of acquisition and ownership with no risks related, with no alienation or forced immigration or insecurity to continue, or risk of stability. A right of housing that should be sustainable, not with the risk that the roof will collapse over his head one day. Also with related services. As far as the professions that are related to the topic, I think there are 2 professions in terms of land acquisition. Surveyors, and we are honored to have the head of the FIG, and that shows the interest and their engagement, because they are the one who measure the land. Also, the officers and the officers of registration from legal background, because they deal with this the legal aspects and ownership and supporting the right of owners or of social categories who suffer in some societies, like when it comes to women and youth or people with health problems. So these 2 professions can be private or governmental. State clerks or officers, according to the adopted laws. In all cases, these 2 professions should have a system built on ethical principles, transparent, clear, and legislated, and also they should use modern tools in terms of implementation and execution of their work, also with the good governance of land. So, from my opinion, there should be a national professional organization to start building confidence, as the president of, Madam the President of FIG mentioned, with a certain level of expertise, of capacity building, of culture, of university level, and also to help professionals new experiences by organizing trainings, and also to help these professional institutions to negotiate, to advocate with the state, and to deal with complaints, and to solve problems if there are any. So this topic starts now to take also an economic dimension as a profession that should be secured and also organized and protected. In addition to that, there is also an importance to international conferences and meetings and forums, and also participating in FIG meetings, which is really an opportunity to get informations and justification, and to know how to deal with international organizations and organize cooperation professionally on an international level, so that can promote these professions and can make it more efficient as expected by the society. In addition to that, 2 more minutes, just 2 more minutes. So also the Arab Union of Surveyors also should play its role on a regional level. But unfortunately, in the last conference of FIG in Ghana, there was very few presence of Arabs, just by Morocco and Saudi Arabia. And apparently that is due to the weak national organizations, and also some financial and political problems. Even for the Arab Union surveyors, there has been several years that it was not convened and gathered. So the recommendations we should promote the role and the level of the national organizations, raise also the level of the coordination with authorities, and all this should be institutional. Institutions talking with authorities and decision makers to organize the sector, and also participating in international conferences. It's very enriching and should be also adopted. And one of the policies, the last thing is, these are some figures from the World Bank. The World Bank before used to publish indicators about land administration, and according to the quality of land registration in the countries of the world. I gathered here the Arab countries, and we see here that there is a group like Qatar, Jordania, and Emirates are in a good category, but also Morocco. But we have a long group in the right. They only have not even half of the rate or the indicator. It starts by Saudi Arabia and finishes by Sudan. So we can see here the efforts that should be deployed to increase the performance in the sectors, and the contribution by all the stakeholders should be considered. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rafiq, for your presentation. Dr. Rafiq tackled the importance of the real estate sector in the international economy in general, and also the importance of housing as a right for citizens, as basic rights for citizens. Also showed and talked about the importance of professionals in the field like surveyors and officers on registrations. Also, the efforts that should be deployed in this profession in the Arab state, and the importance of a regional national cooperation between Arab states, and also to strengthen the role of the Arab Union of Surveyors. And he showed also that we can benefit from what existing already with FIG, and how we can reinforce the cooperation and revive the role of surveyors in the Arab world. I think all the interventions were all about the importance of creating partnerships. There are competitions, but we should consolidate the cooperation between them so the professionals can have a better role in terms of governing well the land sector. So now we give the floor to the audience to give them the opportunity to ask questions, to do the discussions, and also to see how we can reach very good and beneficial partnerships and involve professionals in this sector. We take the questions, and then we get to the answers. Are there any questions here? We open the list now. Please, your name, your institution, then the question. In the name of Allah, Muhandis Kuda from Egyptian service. And the problem of of the Arab states not participating in the last FIG conference, I think maybe it was due to financial reasons and traveling trip cost, and it was quite appearing in the last conference of the Arab Committee. The conference days were diminished to only 2 days. So I think it's because of financial reasons. And I think there should be support and foreign support that can finance the ones that cannot afford for the participation, so we can keep the partnership and the collaboration between all the Arab states.
شكرا أستاذ طارق على سؤالكم. مداخلة أستاذ.
Another intervention, please. Thank you very much. I am a consultant engineer in the cadastry in Sudan. In addition to what have been brought up by my professor Al-Makhouri, the capacities and building experts in land, it's related to the really need and the existing need. It's not only building capacities when it comes to knowledge and skills, but also the expert's ability to take it as a career and a profession. In a study done by our brother Rafiq in the UN Habitat, we found that many experts in the region lack the supports, the government supports to their work, and the recognition of the state of what they are doing and their collaboration with them. And this, of course, without the rehabilitation. And when we talk about the right of land, we are talking about a property and someone and the use of this right. Rafiq has mentioned that the land mappers who decide what, and the notaries, those who specify what kind of rights those people have on those lands, but nobody defines how to use this right and how to use this land. Finally, the Arab countries' participation in FIG in Ghana, maybe Ghana can tell me, I'm not sure. The participation in FIG, it depends on the ecosystems, not individuals, and we lack these organizations, and FIG works hand in hand with the people to produce people who are capable of having this as a career, not only studying. Those people have resources to share their expertise and fund people to have career such these. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Salah, for your intervention. There is another question there. Please give her the mic. We will take 3 questions and then we'll answer them. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm an engineer in Egypt from Egypt. I just want to comment about the part chart that appeared by the end about the quality of land administration. It has been the date was in 21-22. Is there anything more recent than that? Because I'm asking because in Egypt we have homeland projects that have reorganized the land managements and land mapping and zoning. I think the date. I think the quality and the percentage is not fair, because there is many projects in land management in the last 2 years. And I want to know the percentage are shown based on what, on which informations. And thank you for this fruitful session. Thank you very much. And now we will take a first round of answering the questions. The first, Diane, they asked about the role of IEG financing and participation in many meetings organized by FEG.
We don't have organizations.
Okay, thank you, Shukran. First question, participation at our international conferencing. And I'm pleased that it's been raised because that's where a lot of our knowledge creation happens, and having people participate is crucial. So in that regard, we try and keep the costs as low as possible. We recognise trying to get internationally around the world to attend is always going to be a challenge for all of us. It actually doesn't matter which country you come from. Clearly, some are going to struggle more than others because of the exchange rate. So our first driver is keep the fees as low as possible for a 3-day conferencing event. We also have our administration. We also have pre-events, not often post-events. So there's a lot of value. There is a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of networking. And so it is good value for money, but the travel costs, the hotel costs, of course, add that bill up, if you like. So we, as I say, we do the best we can, and we can't really get it much lower because the venue hire is the thing that probably really puts the prices up. Secondly, though, I would say we don't just do the international conferences. We do regional, and I see we have the Ministry of Nepal in the room, and the secretary there. We were in the region of Asia and hosted by his ministry. So we do regionals, which tend to be a lower cost, and they tend to be about 2 days. And then, and this is the important thing maybe, I saw a photograph that you put on your slide and saw the commission chair of Cadastre in Tunisia in December doing Fit for Purpose. That is one way to really engage the FIG communities, by holding the commission meetings or something that's relevant to the commissions in your national country state. So that's something please take away and engage with me later, and I could put you in contact with the right topics. You also mentioned the second question was about national associations. I'd probably defer to Rafiq on this one and my colleagues to the left, but very briefly, we are a federation of all of those national associations. We do not set them up. That's members. It's not for FIG to be going in there and establishing. We will support. If you come to the FIG family, you will find people that can help with